position, you take notes is because you want to take notes because you want to teach this. You want to be able to teach this. You want to be able to learn this stuff so you can teach it and pass this information. You don't want to, in this industry, sharing is caring, right? You want to be able to pass this as a leader. You want to pass this information on to the next group of people and so on and so forth. And that's how you will have massive success in this industry. And also, I want the motto for this year to be for you guys, what it is for me, it has been for a long time, is how you do anything is how you do everything. I heard that quote when I was about 13 from a coach, from a basketball coach of mine. How you do anything is how you do everything. If you think about it right now, if you've always been an overachiever, if you've always been someone that went the extra mile, you probably have had success in a lot of things that you've done in life. But if you've been someone that's always cut corners or always just did the bare minimum to get by, or maybe you didn't even maybe you didn't even do the bare minimum because you didn't care. Well, that's how you do anything. It's how you do everything. In your workouts, in your relationships with your family, your significant others, in your business. If you were someone at a job that extremely went over the line, you probably translate, right? So just remember that how you do anything is how you do everything, guys. So for me personally, what I want to talk about is your first 72 hours in the business and your first 90 days in the business as well. And this goes for if you're brand new, if you haven't went through this yourself, I want you guys to write this all down. These are all things that you should have been doing. And if you haven't done it or you didn't do it in your first 72 hours, well, let's go ahead and get it done, right now. And as a leader, I want you to learn this and utilize this as a checklist, a mental checklist for if you ever get someone in the business, these are the steps that you want to go through. And if you've already heard this before, I don't care. Write it down again, because if you don't do this stuff properly, you don't have proper retention. And let's just see some ones in the chat. How many people have had somebody come into the business and they quit after 30 days, right? Let me just see some ones in the chat. If that's ever happened to you, right? It's happened to a lot of us, right? And you know what that is? A lot of times it happens early on in your career. It's because you didn't give people the proper setup, the proper expectations, the proper vision that you're supposed to paint to these people when they go ahead and get started. And if you're someone that is brand new here today, let me give you a proper vision. And so I'm going to go through the steps, your first 72 hours, your first 90 days of running, and then basically what month 1, 2, and 3 will look like for you. And so the very first thing I want you guys to write down, right? 72 hours, right? 72-hour launch. Because when you get somebody into the business or when you start a business, you don't just start somebody, right? They don't just get started in the business. You launch a business. Professionals launch a business. Amateurs start a business. I've never seen somebody have massive success by just starting a business. No, they launch a business. They have a game plan. They have a system. They put things in play. They go hard if they want to have success. I mean, look, at the end of the day, success loves speed, right? Success loves speed. And hesitation kills momentum. And so momentum is the only way to turn dreams into reality. So remember that. So success loves speed. So make sure you have all this down, right? So the very first thing I want you guys to write on this is 72 hours, 72-hour launch. But the very first thing is duplicate. Because everything that you should do should be duplicatable for the next person. All the systems that you have in place, you should make it so there is at least a version that is simple enough for everybody to be able to do. Not everybody may have the same skills and talents you do. That's why we give out, certain text messages. That's why we have, an onboarding system, videos that dumb it down, simplify it. You want to make sure everybody is able to do it. So make sure whatever the system is that it is duplicatable. Not everybody has the same talents you do. So make it duplicatable. The second one is systems. What does system stand for? Save yourself time, energy, and money. Save yourself time, energy, and money. When I first heard that, I said, there's no way that that's what it stands for, because it's so true. A lot of people just go through life or through business, especially this business. They go through and freestyle. They freestyle everything, right? They freestyle everything. How many people have seen that? You teach somebody something and they go ahead and next time you talk to them, like, oh yeah, I just did X, Y, and Z. Well, did you do it this way? Well, no, I just kind of made it up. Well, okay, right? Systems are there, guys, to save you so much time. Systems that are proven. You're getting systems from people that have been doing it for 3, 5, 10, 15, 20 years. What makes you think you should change the system up? Let's just be honest. If you haven't had that success level yet, why would you change the system? So remember, you need to have a system, and a system that is duplicatable will, at the end, make it have the most success. And so when I'm launching somebody, and if you're brand new, the first thing that you need to have is a why. You need to ask somebody, what is your why? Why are you doing this? And maybe why in the short term and why in the long term. And yes, and why can be, oh, I want to make extra money. That's a lot of people's short term whys. But you really want to get down to what is it that they really want? Why do they want money? When I first got started, the reason I wanted money is because I wanted to be able to take care of the people that have taken care of me, right? I grew up in a single parent household, just me and my mom. And although we had no money, right? Poverty, Section 8, housing, all that type of stuff, she always did her best to make it never feel like that. Until it wasn't until I got older that I realized, oh, damn, we're pretty poor, right? Until we got older, I was like, oh, shit, okay, right? Because of her, she did her best to make sure she could, as long as she possibly could. So for me, I wanted to give all of that back to her. And so that's my deep rooted why. Money isn't just a thing. I always wanted money because I never had it. I wanted to never have to go through the pain of being poor ever again. And nor did I want to project that same generational curses onto my future generations. If you have kids or you plan to have kids, you want them to have a better life than you ever had. And what does that start with, right? And that is your why. So I want you guys to get real deep after this call. If you haven't done it, or when you're talking to someone that's brand new and they get started in the business, make sure they have a proper why, because that's what's going to keep them going at the end of the day. That's what's going to keep them going. You know, if you're talking to somebody and they say, well, my why is I want to go ahead and pay for, I had somebody tell me I wanted to pay for a brother's medical bills. That's what it was. Okay. So when they're saying, oh, it's hard and things get hard, which they go ahead and do, nothing in life worth it is easy. Things get hard. And what happens is you can tell them, well, I thought you said you wanted to pay for your parents' or your brother's medical bills. When you know their true why, that is that motivation that you'll be able to give to them to push to the next level or to go through the hard times, to keep their eye on the prize. So make sure they have a why. The second one is make sure everybody's set up with their products and services, right? Make sure everybody has their products and services. What does that entail? Well, we have an onboarding system for that, but making sure they know how to use the academy. They have their demo accounts connected to Tap the Trade. They know where the live sessions are, right? Set up with all the products and services. They know how to use those. And then the third thing is make sure they have a list. I say minimum list of 100 to 200 people. Make sure they have a list of 100 to 200 people if you really want to launch heavy. But even if someone that doesn't want to build the business massively, make sure they get a list of 40, at least a list of 40. Number 4, what is the next event, right? Make sure they know the event. Make sure they set up an event themselves. When we first got started in this business, for the whole first 2 years, we did home presentations with every new person that got started. Every single person that got started, we said, hey, when we're going to do your launch event, we're going to have 3, 10, 20 people within this living room. If you want to go fast, do events. Get people in person. Let them meet the people around them so they know it is real. And it is very easy to build from Zoom, right? And if you're working with people in different states or countries, but if you really want to go hard, and especially if you're able to do an event. Josh and I had no idea what the hell we were doing. And we had an event within our first 2 weeks of about 60 people, completely butchered it, right? We were in college. We invited people to this, after hours, like schoolroom. There's like 60 people in there, completely butchered it to hell, but we did it. So understand you want us to event. And then the last one within this, or second to last one in the 72 hours is connect them when they get started with a ranked leader, a 1K, a 5K, a 10K. The higher that you can go, obviously the better, but 1K, 5K, 10K, get them connected with somebody that has already been crushing this business, has already been in for a while and can go ahead and give you the framework. A 30-second phone call. It doesn't have to be Zoom, but just to introduce them. Like, hey, Mark just got started. He's super excited. He's fired up. Hey, Mark, this is my mentor, Josh. He's been in the business for 6 years, absolutely crushing it, multi-six-figure earner. I just wanted to introduce him because I told him that you were a hustler and you're ready to take this thing to the next level. Josh gives a nice little chat with them, sees where his head's at, and go from there. So connect them with somebody so they can, see what the fruits of their labor will become. Now that's, and the last one is personal development, guys. You got to equip everybody with the personal development. And for me, I always tell people the 2 things that right out the gate they should listen to at least is GoPro by Eric Worre. And if you're brand new on this call and you haven't listened to it, it's GoPro, The Steps to Becoming a Network Marketing Professional by Eric Worre. It's an audio. You can find it on Apple Music, Spotify, whatever it may be. And the second one is Jim Rohn, how to build your network marketing business. It's about an hour and a half, YouTube, audio, whatever you want to call it. Make sure people have these things and make sure they're going through them. And if you haven't and you're on this call wondering what they are, I can drop them in the chat after this, but make sure you do give those a listen. You want to give them listen, the faster the better. So personal development is huge because 60%, 70% of the thoughts that go through our mind are usually negative. When you're someone that hasn't been in this business and you haven't personally developed your mindset, you haven't personally developed, the thoughts that come in your mind, a lot of people are just negative. A lot of people are glass half full type of people. They automatically assume the worst when they first come into this business. And this business is something that it's a quote that we always say is as you're building your business is building you, and it's never been more true. Who I got started when I was 20, 21 years old, I am not that same person anymore. My values aren't the same anymore. How I think isn't the same anymore. I don't even let a negative thought enter my inner matrix and last longer than 5 seconds. I can promise you that. 5 to 10 seconds later, I'm like, well, let's think of some positive stuff. If I can't think of any positive stuff, let's throw on an audio. Let me go ahead and give a call to a positive person. Right? So understand that as you're in this business, you'll grow your mindset, and personal development is a very key factor to it. What are you listening to on a daily basis? A good rule of thumb is an 80-20 rule. 80% personal development, another 20% is obviously like music and things like that. Trust me, I love music more than the next person, right? I love music. Brand new Drake album drop. I'm just over here relaxing, having a good time. I'm loving it. But you can't listen to that stuff all the time because what does music talk about these days? It's usually a lot of negativity. It's usually a lot of BS, and so you want to listen to high frequency, high positivity stuff in your life. And so that is that first 72 hours. That's the first 72 hours. That's what you should have done with your person. If you haven't done that by now, hit me up, right? If you haven't done that, if you've been in the business for a week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks, if you haven't done that yet, reach out to me and I'll get you some proper launching going on, guys. So now I want to talk about your first 90 days, a 90-day launch. How do you go hard for 90 days and what does that look like? Well, obviously, the first thing you want to ask them is make sure you have their why down. And then a question as a leader that you ask them is, do I have your permission to remind you why you're doing this? Do I have your permission? You always want to ask people. You want to get permission from people to lead them. Do I have your permission to remind you on why you're doing this business? Because it will get tough. There will be times when you feel like quitting. Everybody in their career feels like quitting at one period in time. It's a normal thought to have. But like I said at the beginning, anything worth having takes work, right? And the work works, and the work is worth it. That's coming from somebody that's been in this for 6 years. The work is definitely worth it. And so that's the first thing. So get permission from that person. So write down permission. Get permission from that person to lead them in an effective way. The next one is the 3 questions. 3 questions you want to ask somebody. If they want to launch this, they want to go on a hard 90-day run, their first 90 days in the business. The first question is, how many hours per week are you willing to give to the business? That's the very first question. And people will maybe say like, I'm willing to give it 5 hours a week. Okay, cool. Right? Now you know it. The second one is, how much money do you have to be making to make this opportunity worth it? So the second one is money, right? How much money do you have to make in order for this opportunity to be worth it? The third one is, how long are you willing to do this until you quit? What is your quitting point? And so you write those all down, right? So somebody says, hey, I want to do this for 5 hours and 5 hours a week, and money, I want to make $10,000 a month for it to be worth it. And I'm willing to do that for 5 months before I quit. So you're telling me you're only willing to give it 5 hours a week for 5 months, but you want to make 10K a month? Well, we have to realign that. We have to tell them one of those don't work, right? You can't. One of those aren't going to work. We have to change one of those. We either have to lower how much money you want to make after those 5 months. We have to lower how long you're willing to do it for, or maybe we have to raise the amount of hours a week. If someone says, hey, I want to put in 40 hours a week and for 6 months, and I want to be making 10K a month. Okay, now we're talking. The third question was, how long are you willing to do this before you quit? Right? How long? And this is what you're gauging where they're gauging where they want to be, where they want to go, but also how much work they're willing to put in. You need to give them proper expectations. A lot of people quit in this industry because they didn't get proper expectations. People told them, join now, sign on the dotted line, you're going to become a millionaire within 3 months. So sorry to tell you, this is not how it works. I wish that's what it was the case. If you have an opportunity like that, you can hit my line. I'm open to that one. But it just doesn't come like that, right? So you have to give people realistic expectations on either how much work it's going to be, how long they're going to have to be in this, and lay that framework. Because then the biggest thing when in leadership, guys, that I've learned is you just have to be straightforward with people. You have to be straightforward with people. You have to be transparent. You have to let them know about the ups and downs. But you also have to let them know that if they do put in the work, they will have massive success. I can tell you in this industry, the people that have had the most success are just the people that have put in the most work for the longest period of time. The only difference between you and I is that I've been working at a certain pace for longer than you have. The difference between me and Matt and Joey is they've been doing it longer and harder at a longer pace, right? That's the only difference is time, guys. And so putting that effort and energy into it is really what matters. So give them those three questions. And then another question I like to ask them is, another question I like to ask them is, are you an over or underachiever? Get a gauge of like how they've been their entire life. Are you an over or an underachiever? And most people are going to say, I would say I'm an overachiever. You want to get where their heads at. You just want to see how you should lead them and just find out some of these questions because letting them know what it takes at the end of the day. And so one thing I want to touch on with you guys is if you think that you're going to be here for 2 months and get the most mentorship in the world, it's just not feasible, right? If I look at someone and they tell me, oh, I only want to do this for 2 months, as a mentor, do you think I want to pour my heart and soul into somebody that's only willing to give it 2 months? And I want you guys to look at it from the flip side. If you want a mentor to go ahead and pour into you and work with you and run side by side with you and really do everything it takes to help you win, you have to commit. You have to let them know I'm here. I'm not willing to work with anybody personally one-on-one unless they're willing to at least commit for a year because I wouldn't expect anything else from myself. There were certain levels of mentorship I didn't get until it was that I reached certain levels, right? That I did put a certain amount of time. You have to show that you are 100% serious, and that's when the mentorship will really appear. You don't just automatically join and deserve mentorship from the highest ranked people or the best traders in the company. If you're putting in that work, then the mentorship will rise. When I do my Monday trading calls every single week, I know who's on these calls. I see who's there every single week. I see who's active. When we do these leadership calls, I see who shows up every single week. I'm taking note of it. I'm taking a mental note of all of that. And those are the people I'm willing to be like, hey, you can ask me for anything. And obviously, I'm willing to help everybody. But to give hours and hours and hours and days of my time to, the people that work with me closely know that. If you're willing to put the work in, I am 100% down to do whatever it takes for you. Whatever you need, I'm right there for. And so understand that you need to be willing to commit, and that's when everything will fall into place. And so I'm going to go ahead and give it a couple more minutes, guys. I have a quick what month 1, 2, and 3 will look like within the business and how you want to do it. So if you guys want to write this down, and we talked a little bit about it, but month 1, that's your launch, right? You're launching the business. And as a customer or as somebody that comes into the business, you want to, first month, you really just want to be on a demo account, guys. So I always say demo. Use the Akashics products, tap the trade, the roadmap. Make sure you have a roadmap, a framework, the academy. And then by end of month 1, you should be minimum 3 and free. Whether you're building a business or not, your goal is to get somebody to 3 and free no matter what. In this business, I look at it 2 ways. Either you want to hit ranks or you want to get a 3 and free. I don't look at it as someone that just wants to come in, be a customer for a whole entire year. Why? Because most people don't have grit to be there for a whole entire year. So I always say, let's go ahead and get you your 3 and free. So that's the first goal is either 1K within their first month or 3 and free minimum. And then month 1, you should always be asking, what's my nearest event? Is it an in-person presentation? Is it a Super Saturday event? Is it, convention in Atlanta? You should be already talking about with your people because you should assume that they're going to be here for a year. How many people in here? Let me see some sevens in the chat if you're coming to the Atlanta event October 3rd, 4th, 5th, I believe is what it is. I'm so excited. You're going to be able to hear from, amazing traders, amazing leaders, people that have been in this industry 5, 10, 15, 20 plus years, giving you the sauces and the shortcuts, right? And meet everybody that's within the community. So Can't wait for that. I'm gonna be excited. I love it. I love it. And I'm a fan of Atlanta. Atlanta's a good time, good vibes, good music, good food. So definitely dang. Definitely with it. And then within month one, what if somebody tells you, well, I want to wait until I have success to go ahead and share this opportunity? Well, first off, you don't need to have success in anything before you share it. You have to learn how to leverage people. When you first get started, you are not the end all be all. You're not saying, oh, I'm so successful. I'm so great. I've done this. I've done that. You're not saying that. I mean, as long as I've been in the industry, I still don't really edify myself. I still talk about the people I'm working with. I still talk about the people that I'm surrounded by. So learn how to leverage. I'm working with some sharp individuals. I'm learning from 6, 7 figure traders. I'm learning from 7, 8 figure business builders and entrepreneurs. I get to sit in the same room with them. I get to shake hands with them. I'm in proximity with them. So learn to leverage. And another, caveat to that question is, should I wait? Is I always tell people, build to trade, not trade to build to trade. I'll tell you one thing. It is so much more fun trading when you have money. I can guarantee you that. When you're worried about, damn, if this trade hits, I get to pay my rent. It's not as fun. It's not as fun. So whether you can have an extra $500 a month, $1,000 a month, 2,000, $10,000 a month, it makes trading so much more carefree. You're not scared to fail your challenges. You're not scared to put money in a live account and trade. You're not gambling because you need it, right? You're not gambling because you need it. So I always say build to trade. It gives you so much more leeway. When I first got started, there was no way I would have had money to actually trade if it wasn't for building the actual business. And so build to trade and learn how to leverage everybody around you. So month two, I'm gonna get through this quick. Demo account or be on your funded account, right? It's time to switch over. You should have already gotten through the academy. And at this point, you should pick a live educator to follow and a strategy to learn. Live educator to follow, and then, strategy to learn. And then 1K rank minimum. 1K to 5K rank, I would say. And then month three, on a live account or a funded account, being on that, you should have already went to the academy, been trading with educators. You have a strategy, you're practicing, and you want at least minimum, I'd say 30 to 50 people on your team. That's the 3 month roadmap that I give to people. That's what I would say to you. Go ahead and utilize. It's so important to give people this framework, guys, because at the end of the day is going to end, and what we do with our days determines on where we are within a year. And so I want you guys to start, if you've been in for a little bit, or even if you're brand new, start paying attention to detail. The details are what matter. These are success shortcuts. These are things that I wish we'd have learned day one we got in the business, but we didn't learn them until a year, 2 years, 3 years. So if you can, the faster you can implement all the stuff that we teach, the faster your success can come. And why make $10,000 a month in 5 years when you can do it in 365 days? What we rather. So I hope that was some value for you guys. I hope that was some value for you guys. I love doing these things, right? Every single week. This is the whole entire goal because I know that not every single person, I know that 95% of you guys aren't going to implement what I just said. But for the 5% that does, you're going to go and be like, wow. You're going to take it, you're going to utilize it, realize it works, and you're going to go ahead and crush this business. And those are the people that I'm talking to. Some people I'm talking through, some people I'm talking to. Just be one of those people, or the 5, 10, whatever it may be that I'm talking to and not talking through. But I appreciate you guys. I'm going to go ahead and pass it on. Do not leave yet because we have another speaker who has even more value to give you. Even more value to give you. He is an absolute stud in the industry. A lot of you guys may know him, but if you don't, he is an absolute savant, a servant leader. He's someone that has put so much tireless effort into his craft, into the systems that we use. He has done more personal development than anybody that I know in the world and can give you the plan from A to Z. And he just happens to be my brother and my best friend. Let's go ahead and bring to the call Mr. 100K affiliate Joshua Amundson. What's going on, brother?
Sheesh. Okay, bro. I appreciate it, guys. Jay, first of all, thank you for the introduction, man. But can we drop some ones in the chat for Jay, man? Absolutely crazy. Let's go, baby. Shout out to you. Shout out to you, man. Woo! That was beautiful. That was beautiful. You guys like the little sound effect noise? Getting after it, huh? I'm gonna quickly stop sharing my sound real quick. But no, Jay, everything you just shared, guys, was so valuable. You don't know what you need to know until you know it. And then once you know it, you're like, I wish I would have known that. I'd be so much further ahead. That's why we do these calls. And everything Jay went over is so important to learn, and also not just learn, and obviously apply it, but teach it, right? It's the trifecta: learn, apply, teach. Learn, apply, teach. Okay. So, Jay, I appreciate you for all that value, man. That was super awesome. Guys, we're going to dive back into it. Okay. I have been doing this business for 6 years with Jay. It took us 2 years and 1 month to get to over $10,000 a month in the business. And we've been, growing ever since. And it's been an awesome journey, right? But why we wanted to do this call tonight, obviously, we do this call every single Tuesday at 7 p.m. Central Time. It's the One Mission Mentorship call. That hint, hint, you want to tell people that these are business hours, okay? If you want to grow and scale a team, you got to harass them to get on these calls, like straight up. I remember for the last 6 years, I mean, especially when we were first starting out, me and Jay were just blowing up people on our phones, texting them like, you got to get on this call. You got to get on this call. You need to be on this call. And I'm sure there's a lot of you on this call that did the same thing. But I'll tell you what, whoever on this call can have the highest show up rate of their teams to these calls, to the events, will make the most money. Plain and simple, right there. Whoever can get their team to show up to these calls and the live events, the company events, everything, just show up in general. Whoever can get their team to do it the most will make the most money. Promoting is the highest paying skill set in this entire business. Me and Jay learned that within our first month or two. So we're like, okay, we don't really know how to promote that well, right? But what we do know how to do is harass the hell out of our team to get them on a call, right? So just keep that in mind as you're scaling and growing your business. Become the best promoters possible. Whoever can get the team to do something the best, obviously we're all here because we want to be here, but whoever can get their team to show up and, participate and learn and grow will make the most money. You guys know that, right? For those of you that have been in the business a long time, but for those of you that are new, just know whoever can get their team to show up the most will make the most money. Okay. So I'm going to dive into it. This is kind of like a road to 50K call. Okay. Obviously, your goals should be even past that, right? But when you're brand new and never marketing, a milestone that a lot of people, like to set is $10,000 a month. $10,000 a month. I want to make $10,000 a month, right? We're in trading and network marketing. It's a powerful combo. We're learning how to multiply our money that we already have in the markets, and we're learning how to create a passive residual income that'll pay us forever. It doesn't get better than this, okay? Now, I'm not here to tell you it's going to be easy, okay? I personally believe, out of all the companies I've been in, out of, the 9 years of trading that I've done, this is the easiest platform to go out and actually accomplish your goals in. You should have seen what we originally started with in this industry, okay? It is crazy what we have right now at our fingertips, right? The last 1 or 2 days, who's made some money with Tap to Trade? Drop a 1 in the chat. Who's made some money with Tap to Trade? Drop a 1 in the chat. I'd be shocked if all 53 people in here didn't make some money with Tap to Trade. I'll put a 1 in there, man. Joel Arias was crushing it. A lot of the other educators are crushing it. It doesn't get easier than this. Okay. You guys see how many success stories are happening right now? Like, it's crazy. It's absolutely insane. Well, guess what that's going to cause? That's going to cause all the people that and all the people in the United States and all the people around the world to learn about our company. They're going to learn about what it is that's happening here. Because, ladies and gentlemen, it's not normal. What's happening here is not normal. We are turning it into the normal. Okay, we're setting the bar high for the industry, and a lot of companies are going to go out of business because they can't keep up with this bar, right? They can't keep up with the speed, with the success, with the results that what we're doing here. So good news travels fast. Okay. Now, inside of our business, ladies and gentlemen, if you're brand new, you have the ability to become an affiliate and make money by helping this company grow. You don't even have to sell this to people. If you just show them Tap the Trade, show them your results, show them what's happening, it's absolutely, one of the easiest things I've ever done personally, okay? So I want to get into the road to 50K, okay? 50K rank pays an average of $12,000 a month. Okay, an average of $12,000 a month, month after month after month after month after year after year after year, forever, until when you're really old, you can actually give your position to someone in your family and they can have it. That's what's cool about this business, guys. We're thinking long-term vision. I'm talking 25, 50 years, like as long as the government will let businesses like this run. That's the only thing that's ever going to stop trading is if the government decides, hey, we don't want people to trade on their phones anymore, which in my opinion, I don't see that happening because it's going to cause riots around the world. Okay. So when I was brand new, I was 20 years old, but I didn't start really doing the business till I was 21. What are things that I wish I would have known? What are things that I just wish someone was sitting there and was just like, you need to know this, and this. Okay. Obviously, we've been on the call for a while, ladies and gentlemen, so I'm not going to be able to tell you everything. That's why it's important to show up every Tuesday at 7 p.m. Central Time. Important to have your team show up every Tuesday at 7 p.m. Central Time. The One Mission Mentorship calls is to transfer this stuff to you guys so you can use it, so learn it, apply it, and teach it. Right. Now, we also do Super Saturday calls at 11 a.m. Central Time, another important business hour call that you need to be on if you want to go out and crush it this year, okay? But one of the first things, hopefully you guys got a notebook down, okay? One of the first things was this business is basically like a big game of telephone. Okay. I know there's been some people on this call that have heard that before. You guys know the game telephone when we were younger, when you'd whisper in one person's ear, they turn, whisper to the next person's ear, turn, whisper to the next one, all the way down. And by the time it got to the last person, you'd be like, all right, so what did person number one say? Just complete wrong answer. Like you're like, how did you even get there? Right. That's the challenge and the struggle of this business. How good of a game of telephone can you play with your team? That is one of the first things I wish I would have heard. Everything that you're telling your team, that's all they know. That's all they understand. That's all they've ever heard, right? So you got to really put some effort and time into coaching and training and helping new people in the business because when they have new people, they're only going to be able to share what they know, what they've learned from you. Okay, obviously from other leaders too. So, number one, this business is a big game of telephone. Okay, really important. I wish I'd have known that right away. All right, so let's get our game on. Okay, let's start playing telephone. Now, part of number one as well, all right, is this journey takes time. Okay, this journey takes time. Nothing, or excuse me, any entrepreneurs out there and any successful, business owners, it did not happen overnight. Okay, what's happening in the social media space is people are watching all these videos of these, men and women all over the planet that are making millions of dollars off of, meme coins online overnight, right? Hey, guess what? That's a real thing, but your odds of that happening are very, very low. Doesn't mean it's impossible, but don't bank on a lottery ticket to secure your family's financial future. Do something that's proven and will work if you work. Okay. So this journey takes time, ladies and gentlemen. I like to say, give yourself at least 1 to 2 years to really understand trading. Okay. At least 1 to 2 years. Let me tell you some statistics about trading. 50% of people around the world, this isn't a Koshex, around the world, people who just try trading like me when I was 18, 50% of people quit within 30 days. These are just like, your uncle or your aunt or your friend, like they just quit in 30 days. They don't have enough here to do anything successful. They give up on everything, right? They're 50% quit by 30 days. 75% of people have given up trying to learn how to trade by 3 months. Excuse me, 90 days. 75% of people have quit. By 6 months into someone's trading journey, not our company, again, we're here to solve this statistic. That's why we are crushing it in the space right now. By 6 months, 90% of people have given up trying to learn how to trade. Okay. All you have to do to be the 5 to 10% of people that actually become profitable at trading, someone drop it in the chat. What do you have to do? Like, it's very clear. How do you become part of the 5 to 10%? TTT for sure. Don't quit. Last longer than 6 months. Last longer than 6 months. Guys, I put $500 in a trading account when I first got started. I was 18 years old. I wasn't a part of a team. I wasn't a part of a company, and I blew it. I could have easily been part of the statistic that was like, this is too hard. I give up. No, no. I saw people crushing it. I saw people doing it. And I was like, if they can do it, I can do it. I got not good grades in school. I cheated my way through college. I could have got a degree in cheating in college, right? But guess what? I have work ethic. I have passion. I have desire to change my life. And I was like, if they can do it, I can do it. But I told myself, I'm going to give myself as long as it takes to become good at trading. I've been trading for 9 years now. I'm still learning how to trade because guess what? You never stop. You never stop learning how to trade. The market's constantly changing. Okay. So give yourself 1 to 2 years minimum to learn how to trade. Okay. Now, in terms of building the business, you got to give yourself an average of 3 to 5 years to get to a full-time income. Okay. That is the average statistic for our industry of network marketing is 3 to 5 years. Personally, keep it between me and you guys. I think our opportunity is so spectacular. We're crushing every other trading company out there in our space. I think it's only 1 to 2 years to get to a full time income and never work a job again. That's me, right? Now, it might take you 3 to 5 years. The average depends. How hard are you working? Do you show up to all these calls? Do you harass your leaders with questions? Like, I need to know everything, right? Are you taking massive blindless action? That's what me and Jay did when we got started. A lot of the leaders on this call. So the average is 3 to 5 years for building the business, but I personally think you can do it in 1 to 2. You got to be dialed though. You got to be locked in. You got to be Art Williams where he's like, just do it. Right. So that's number one, ladies and gentlemen, is this journey takes time. Give yourself time to have success. Most people have TikTok brain. I heard this at an event. They have TikTok brain. They have instant gratification galore, and they start a business. It doesn't work in 30 days. They quit. They start another business. It doesn't work in 30 days. They quit. Just pick one thing and go all in on it. I heard from a really successful mentor of mine. You really want to know if an industry is for you, at least a year in it. At least a year. Give yourself a fair shot. I would say 3 to 5 years of whatever industry, but I know that people value their time and they want to know if something's for them. At least a solid year of giving solid effort. I'm not talking about of having an active subscription in Akashics for a year. I'm talking about you gave it your all for a year. Then we'll talk. Okay. So give yourself time inside this industry, all right? Number two is Jay talked about it. You got to know what your why is, okay? That's the number one thing you got to figure out when you get started. Because guess what? This isn't going to be easy. Guys, the reason some people in this company are making 200,000 plus dollars in a single month is not because it's easy. It's because they gave themselves enough time, they studied the greats, and they applied what they learned, and they taught their team the same thing. And they take massive daily action. Okay. But you need to know what your why is. And it has to be more than just making money, like Jay said. Your why is supposed to make you cry. It's got to be something where you're like, dude, nothing's going right. My team's quitting. Leaders are dropping out. I haven't been profitable in like a month. Nothing's going the right direction, right? I feel like quitting. The why keeps you going. That's how strong it has to be. Okay. Number three, okay, on the road to 50K. All right. Number three, hopefully you're writing this stuff down, right? Because this call is pointless if you're not writing it down. This is stuff I want. Remember, we're playing the game of telephone. As the information comes out of my mouth into your ears and into your brain and you process it, where does it go next? First, you apply it in real life. Then you teach it to future teams as they come in. Okay. You are a doorway of this information. That's how you have to treat this. It's the game of telephone. Number three is because trading takes time. Okay. Because it's going to be a journey. It's going to, require, obviously showing up 30 minutes a day, going through the academy, giving yourself enough time to have success in it. Don't compare your chapter 1 to someone's chapter 30. Okay. You can't come in and see someone make, $4,000 withdrawal and be like, oh my God, I'm so mad. I've been in this for 90 days. You don't know what they've gone through. You don't know how long they've been doing it. What if there was 3 years of absolute hell that they went through to be able to now pull $4,000 out in a week? So the best advice for you in trading is to just focus on your own journey. Because guess what? Every single person in the Koshex, pretty much nobody will have the same results because we're all trading our own individual trading accounts, right? We all decide when we want to trade, what we want to trade, how much we want to risk, okay? But with that being said, be patient with it. Something that you don't have to be patient for, though, is getting your free membership inside of Akashex, okay? When I was brand new inside of this business, me and Jay, like we said, we didn't have any money. We were broke, busted, disgusted, but we found this business. Thank God, right? Well, the monthly membership, me and Jay were like, that ain't gonna, we can't do it. I cannot do it. We need to get a free account. What we learned is this. If you're trying to squeeze money out of the markets, guess what the markets are going to do? They're going to take your money. When you're trying to force profits, you lose to the market. So me and Jay realized, okay, we need to treat this like a business trading, right? We need to treat it like, we have a system, which we eventually learned. We have a trading plan, we have a risk management plan, and we need to do this properly, not luckily. Right. We're not going to do trading lucky, right? Where we get lucky and win. We're going to do it right. Okay. So what we realize is like, okay, what can we do to take pressure off ourselves? Right now, what pressure are we feeling? Well, one, pressure of becoming successful, that takes time. Two, the pressure of the monthly payment. That was like a weight on our shoulders. We're like, dude, I don't want to pay $149 a month every single month throughout the whole entire year. So me and Jay, what did we do? We sat down literally our first or second day in the business, threw 200 people down on a piece of paper and just started blasting messages out to people. I didn't know how to do it. I didn't know how to process people. I didn't even know what to say. But all I know is I wanted my free account and I wanted to obviously introduce people to what we were doing. Out of 200 people that we messaged, we got, each three started. So we got three people started, right? It's because we didn't know what to say. We didn't know who to introduce them to, and we didn't know the system. But guess what? We took massive action, and now we've had a free account for 7 years. Okay. So guess what? If you're someone on this call that doesn't have a free membership, I would bet 99% likely the reason you don't is because you haven't spoken to enough people. I've heard it so many times. People are like, Josh, I've spoken to like so many people and I don't have my free account yet. And month 2 is coming up, month 3 is coming up. And I'm like, okay, all right, let's figure this out. How many people have you spoken to? And they're like 12. And I'm like, 12? I'm like, how do you not have a free account yet? 12? That's crazy. And then I'm like, listen, you're going to need to talk to more people. Okay. I messaged 200 people in 3 days when I got started. How bad do you want it? Right. I'm not saying that that's what every single person on this call is going to have to do, but I'm telling you, I did whatever I had to do to get it done. Are you willing to do that? Right. Some people are like, man, 10 people, that's all I got. You'll get 10 messages to 10 prospects out of me. If I don't get my free account by then, I'm done. And I'm like, hey, that's how you do everything. Right. So no worries at all, man. So for you, I want you to think about, if you don't have a free account, how many people have you spoken to so far? How many people have you prospected about the business so far? Guys, you don't get a free account by getting lucky, right? You get a free account by talking to enough people. Okay. Now, granted, we all know someone that's reached out to 3 people and all 3 got started. Kudos to them. Isn't that awesome? Wouldn't that be nice? And that's how everything worked, right? But guess what? 99% of the time, it's not how it's going to work. Okay. All you have to do is come up with a message to send to people. We have a ton of them. Ask me for them, right? You prospect enough people, get them on enough presentation calls, and then eventually get enough people started. You'll have a free membership. Okay. If you have a free membership on this call, I want you to drop a 8 in the chat. Okay. If you have a free membership or above on this call, drop an 8. If you have a free membership on this call, I want you to drop an 8 in the chat. There's a free annual right there. That's cool. Okay. So I see people dropping 8s. Now just put it one time. All right. How many people did you need to speak to in order to get your free membership? Roughly 50, 100, 50, 100, 65, 60, 60. Anybody else? How many people did you need to speak to in order to get your free account? You guys kind of seeing a trend here? 50, 100, 25. All right, 50. You guys seeing the common theme here? They went out and spoke to enough people to get it done. That's all you have to do. I'm telling you, there's no secret sauce to it. You just go out and you prospect people till you get it done. That's it, right? So that's number 3 is instead of, putting pressure on yourself and, trying to squeeze money out of the markets, get a free account. So now you don't have a pressure of a monthly bill on you anymore. Guess what? When you get those 3 people started, you know what my fear was when I was brand new? And maybe Jay, we were like, man, okay, we just got a free account. Who the hell's going to help these guys? We don't even know what we're doing yet, right? We didn't even know how to help them, but we got them started, right? Here's the deal. When you get someone started, we have a full built onboarding system that you can plug them into. In this onboarding system, we talk about and explain and help them set up everything that they technically need. Now, is that enough for someone to go out and crush it at the highest level? Most times not. But guess what? It is a third-party coach or mentor having that onboarding system. Also, when you get someone started, connect them to the person who got you started. Connect them to me. Connect them to someone in the business who's been doing this for a long time, right? You can leverage other people in this business, okay? So that's number 3, ladies and gentlemen. And if you don't have your free account, I would get it done in the next 48 hours. 48 hours. Push yourself. Get it done. Okay. It's up to you if you want it. There's people in the business that do not care about 149 bucks a month. I was one that cared. Okay. Now, number 4. Okay. Number 4. Don't reinvent the wheel. Okay. I want you to write this down. Do not reinvent the wheel. Okay. When I got started in this business, okay, good luck on the overview, Noah. When I got started on this business, right, I was like, I'm going to create systems. I'm going to message people differently. I know the best way to do it, blah, blah, blah. I tried to come up with all my own things. Well, guess what happened? I wasn't having any results. I wasn't getting people started. I wasn't having duplication. I wasn't having a good time. And when I got started, my mentors told me this: you need 3 things to have success in this business. Okay. Here's the 3 things. I'll tell you the real ones too. One is you got to have a work ethic. You have to be willing to put in the work. Okay. Guys, it's not like I have a work ethic at everything. I'm lazy at some stuff. Right. But in this business, if you want to win, you got to be willing to grind. You got to be willing to put in the work. Right. Post up, bring your computer, grind, do calls. Okay. Number 1 is work ethic. Number 2 is you got to be coachable and teachable. Coachable and teachable. Okay. This is the whole purpose of don't reinvent the wheel. People that have the results that you want are going to coach and teach you what they did to have those results. Don't reinvent the wheel and try to do it your own special way. Okay. Follow a proven system and you will get the proven results from that system. I promise, like, even if you don't agree with it, right? Like I've literally had people, including myself, that I was like, I just don't like the way they do that. It doesn't make sense in my head. Blah, 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 blah. Right. So I try to do it my own way. And then guess what? I didn't have good results. So I went back to what they said and it worked almost immediately. And I was like, God, I need to get out of my own way. I got to get out of my own way. So don't reinvent the wheel. It's put there for a reason. Okay. Number 5, building the business. Okay. These are important, I guess, conversion rates, or excuse me, statistics that I'm going to talk about. And I want you to write these down. Okay. As a business owner, you need to know your numbers. Okay. You got to know your numbers. There's a lot of different ways to track your business here at AkashX. There's a lot of different ways to do it. Our back office on My Daily Choice, tons of ways to do it. It's very, very cool. But something that you got to know for your own business is 2 things. One is called a conversion rate. Okay. A conversion rate. I'm going to put that in the chat. Conversion rate. The next one is called a retention rate. Okay. You could say conversion percentage or retention percentage. All right. Conversion is, for an example, there's a lot of different ways to talk about conversion. Out of all the people that you spoke to, how many of them got started? That's your conversion rate. Okay. That's how many are you converting? Okay. Retention is out of all the people that you got started, how many of them stay in the business month after month after month after month after month? That's your retention rate. Okay. So out of those 2 percentages, those 2 statistics, those 2 rates, I want you guys to drop in the chat. Which one's the most important? Oh, I see retention flying in hot. Are we sure? Are we sure it's retention? Can you double down on that? Here's the secret. It's both. Okay. It's both. You need to have a high conversion rate and a high retention rate. Not right when you get started in the business. You don't need to be the best at getting people to join at all, pretty much ever, but it really helps. And you also don't need the best at retention right away because you're just getting experience. Okay. But down the line, as you practice inviting people and you practice doing the presentation and showing them what it is that we do, guess what's going to happen to your conversion rate? It's going to get better and better and better, right? If you sucked on this call, if you absolutely sucked at talking about this business and sharing what it is that we do with people when you first got started, drop a 1 in the chat. if you were just terrible at sharing what we did to people, drop a one in the chat when you first got started. I'll put a one in the chat. I was trading 2 years before I got started. I still sucked, right? Now, if you believe that you're better than when you first got started, I want you to drop a seven in the chat. Now, it's funny because I'm watching the people that are putting it in there, and it seems like the same people, right? What got you better? What made that number go up, right? What made your conversion rate go up? It was repetition, practicing it over and over and over, right? And time. Okay. So if you're someone on the call that sucks right now, you have to do a bunch of repetition. Okay. I talked about this in some other calls. Imagine that you and I went out to a field and we were instructed to start chopping wood. Okay. Chopping wood, for those of you that don't know what that is, it's with an axe and you're hitting obviously a log. Okay. If we were instructed to chop wood, I don't know about everyone on this call, but most of us would probably suck at chopping wood when we first started. I know I wouldn't be too hot. I'd probably miss, hit my shin, lose my leg. You know, it is what it is, right? Well, when we first start chopping wood, you and I aren't going to be too good. But what if we were told every day for 3 hours we had to go out there every single day, not a day missed? After a week, we'd probably be getting pretty decent at it, got a system going, you know, whatever. Not the best. Imagine after a month of doing it every single day, 3 hours a day, we would be like wood chopping pros. Imagine a year, probably world class. We could probably enter into competitions at how good we are at chopping wood after a year. That's how everything works. Everyone sucks when they first start, but they show up every day and they suck and they suck and they suck and they suck. And then they suck a little less. And then they suck a little less and then a little less. And then they're decent. And then they get kind of good. They're starting to get the hang of things. Now they're getting pretty good. They're really good. They're great. They're legendary. Okay. All you have to be is the same type of person with trading. You have to just do it long enough to get great. Okay. It's very simple, right? I sucked when I first got started. And a lot of you probably felt the same way. You just got to do it. Okay. And that's where the work ethic comes in. Now, retention and conversion, those are important to know. Here are this is a part of number 5. Okay. 4 skills that if you want to go to the 50K rank, you need to study every single day. Can somebody drop these in the chat? What are the 4 skills that you need to study every single day in order to become great in this business? Leadership, that's number 1. Anybody else know the 4 skills you need to study every single day of your life for 30 minutes? Communication, number 2. Sid and Marissa on fire. Who else knows them? Leadership, communication. Anybody know the 3rd one? Okay, network marketing. That's one of them. Yep. There's one more. Mindset/belief. These 4 skills collectively, if you get good at them and use what you learn, you will become a 50K rank inside this company. Guarantee it. You just need to study leadership, communication, network marketing, and mindset/belief every day, 30 minutes a day. A lot of people, you know, we say, hey, personal development, personal development. And then when I find out what personal development they're listening to, it's like, has nothing to do with this business. And I'm like, okay. It's good that you're doing personal development, but let's do this personal development instead. Okay. So who knows the first personal development that you want to do inside this business? Does anybody know the first audio that you want to listen to? The very first one, GoPro. Okay. This is the first audio that you want to listen to. I'll go ahead and share my screen with you guys so you can see what I'm talking about. It's GoPro by Eric Worre. Okay. This is the most important first audio that you want to listen to. Okay. It's 7 steps on how to become a network marketing professional. Okay. Network marketing, guys, is the industry and the business model that we're in. There's thousands of network marketing companies out there. This is the second biggest industry on the entire planet behind real estate. All right. However, this audio is teaching you 7 steps on how to become a pro. Okay. People get started, they're a poser. Then they turn into an amateur, and then they turn into a professional. This audio is so important. Hey, guys, real quick, who's seen me or Jay mention this audio before? Drop a 1 in the chat. Who's seen me and Jay mention this audio before? Okay. Okay. Let me ask you, why would I even repeat it on this call again? Does anybody know why I would say it again on this call? It's important. It's important. It's important. Yep. It's important. It's that good. Yep. What else? It's vital. Life or death. Why else would I say it again on this call when I've done it for 6 years? It works. Yep. Teaches the 4 skills. Yes, it does. Why would I keep sharing this audio with people? Does anybody know? It's a special word and it starts with a D. Duplication. Yep. Duplication. Guys, for the last 6 years, me and Jay have been sharing that audio over and over and over and over because we're trying to create duplication. What we learned from that audio turned us into six-figure earners. If we can just forever, from now on, forever, give it to new people in the business, it might turn them into six-figure earners. It's a tool. And so in this business, it's a game of telephone. If the tool worked for you, tell them about the tool. I'm passing it forever for generations. You guys will see when me and Jay are in our 40s, we're like, Eric, Quarry, go pro, right? I don't know why I had to do that voice for it. Kind of feel like a grandpa in the industry already, but you will see we won't stop sharing this audio because it duplicates. Okay. Imagine how much time I save when I give that audio to someone and it teaches them what the industry is, how it works, why it's not the best, it's just better, and the 7 steps to go pro. How much time does that save me? First of all, I get to filter people out. If they don't even listen to the audio, I don't even take them serious. Second of all, if they listen to the audio and they take notes on it, now I know to take them serious, but they are already trained and understand how this business works. It saved me so much time. Tools are super important in this business, okay? So those are the 4 skills that we need to study every single day. That's the first audio you want to listen to in terms of learning those 4 skills. Now, does anybody know what the next set of audios that I'm going to give out on this call? I'm not looking right now, so I'll see if it's right in a second. Does anybody know who I'm giving out next? We gotta take a look. Anybody know the next audios that I'm giving out? The next audio, the next top earner in this entire industry. Not Jimmy. Jim Rohn is amazing. He should be, right? But I'm biased. Matt Morris, okay? Matt Morris. I just shared his YouTube channel. He has hundreds of videos that are 3 to 5 minutes long. It teaches you everything you could ever imagine about this industry, okay? And I'm going to literally prove this to you guys, okay? I'm going to show you how valuable this is. I remember, yeah, there's a lot of great audios too that we can drop. Once you guys get through these, Eric Worre and also Matt Morris's YouTube videos, ask me for other audios. I'll give them to you. I remember when me and Jay hit 10,000 a month, I messaged this dude. I was like, dude, you got me to $10,000 a month. And he goes, haha, no worries. He's not in our company. He's not on our team, nothing like that. I'm like, this guy must be told this every single day of his life. This is everything you can imagine. Are your prospects on the fence? How to get them to make a decision, how to convert more prospects, how to build leadership. Why are your prospects not calling you back? How to create momentum, the law of momentum. You are a leader. How to find diamonds. It's time to step up. How to recruit more. You are powerful, right? Finding your purpose. How to motivate your team. Going wide versus it's everything you could imagine. Watch this. Somebody give me a problem in network marketing that you're currently facing, right? Somebody give me a problem, right? Any sort of problem with building your team right now that you're experiencing. Who's got a problem? Everyone's like, I don't want anyone to know. People texting back. Okay, right there. We just had that. Prospects not calling you back. Here's the video. Duplication, right? You could come up here. I'll type in Matt Morris, duplication. 3 steps to duplication. Recruit and sell on social media, duplication. 2 words to overcome objections. There's tons of videos about duplication inside this business, right? So how to recruit, create big teams. That's duplication, okay? What else do we have? Pick up a phone book, running out of people to contact, okay? Watch this. We can type in cold market prospecting. Okay, you're running out of people to contact. There are so many videos from Matt Morris, a whole playlist, 72 videos on prospecting. Okay. So I'm telling you guys, if you ever feel like you're stuck in this business, you're not stuck. You just got to study more. That's it. Because once you hear what you need to hear, you're going to be like, oh my God, I wish I would have heard that. I wish I would have known that. I'd be a millionaire if I knew that. Right? That's what everyone says. Okay. All right. So we're going to cruise through these next ones relatively quickly because I know we've been on here for a while. Number 6 is the definition of network marketing. Okay. Here's our job. Here's the job. Okay. If you want to call it a job, here's what we do here in network marketing. Okay. It's the ability to educate and inform people on what we do and collect a decision. The ability to educate and inform people on what it is that we do and collect a decision. Are you in or are you out? Are you in or are you out? I heard this quote, tell me yes or tell me no, but tell me quick because I got to go. Right? I'm busy. I'm hustling. I'm chasing my dreams. I don't got time for you to be like, yeah, I kind of want to do it. I kind of don't. You're like, hey man, if you're in, we're going to go, win really, really high and make a lot of money and get rich and wealthy. Or you can just not do this and you can watch from the sidelines. It's up to you, man. Either way, it was awesome talking to you. What's the answer? Right? So that's the definition of network marketing. Okay. Now we don't have much time on this call. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to send a video to explain this part. Okay. This is really, really, really important. Okay. But we are going to send a video. Bro, chill. All of us here that are building, we follow a 4-step system called iPad. Every single one of us. Okay. When I got started, Joey Wilson's like, follow the system, follow the system. I'm like, there is no system, buddy. He was like a $5,000 to $10,000 a month earner. He was still relatively new. Well, Matt Morris taught me this system. Okay. It was a YouTube video. I remember I found it in the gym one day and I was like, I called Joey Wilson and I was like, bro, do you know what iPad is? And he's like, who? And I'm like, iPad, bro. It's the system. And he's like, I have no idea what you're talking about, bro. I go, dude, we're about to change our freaking life. Okay. So iPads, IPET. Okay. Here is the video that explains what iPad is. But before we do it, I want you guys to spell out iPad. Who knows what the I is? Okay. It's a 4-step system that you repeat. Invite. Okay. Write this down, guys. What's the I? The I is inviting. Okay. Who knows what the P is? The P, presenting. Yep, presenting. Okay. So you invite, and then once you invite someone, you present to them. Okay. Who knows what the E is? Enroll, enrolling people. I believe this is one of the most important ones. Okay. Obviously, inviting is the most important, hands down, because if you can't get good at inviting, you can guess what your career is going to look like in this. But the way you get good at inviting is by doing it a million times. It's impossible not to get good, like we talked about chopping wood. But once you invite someone and you present the information to them, so now they are educated, informed on, they know what to do. You collect a decision, they got started. Now it's E, enrolling them. Okay. Who remembers when they first got started? Okay. Did the person who got you started get on a call with you and walk you through and set you up and get you connected to Tap to Trade and give you all the resources and everything like that? I want you to drop a yes or a no in the chat. Okay. Did the person who got you started get you on a call, get you set up, organized, made sure you knew where everything was, everything like that? Yes or no? Some people are in here like, dude, my upline's on the call. I don't want to say no. Oh God. All right. So yes, right. And that's because when you get someone started, it's go time. Getting someone to join is the easy part. Okay. It's not hard to make someone want to do this. I mean, look what we're doing. It's insane, right? Go look in the testimonial group chats. It's not easy for someone to want to get rich and just spend 149 bucks. And they're like, all right, I'm here. The hard part is helping them have success. This is what enrolling is all about. Okay. It's setting your new person up for success, getting them organized. Don't rush through the call when you're onboarding them. Take time, take an hour out of your day to set this person up, because this is a business partner relationship that you just launched with this person, right? Get them set up with their products and services, give them proper expectations so they don't quit in 30 days. right? Like we did on this call, and obviously teach them the 48-hour rule. If you guys don't know of a system, we have this one right here. This is what a lot of people use as an onboarding system for new people. They usually have their people go through it, and then they get on a call with them and they make sure they went through it properly. So that's our onboarding system that we use all the time, okay? But now, what's the last part? The T in iPad. We have invite, present, enroll, teach, train. Okay. Train people. All right. So this is a 4-step system. It goes like this, it repeats over and over and over. It's a square. You learn how to invite, you learn how to present the information, you learn how to enroll people and set them up so they have success. And then you learn how to train your new person how to invite, how to present, how to enroll. And then their new people, they learn how to train their new people how to invite, how to present, how to enroll. Right. And so it's a whole business of people learning how to invite people, how to present to people, how to enroll people, and how to train their new people how to do the same thing. If you can have 100 people in your business that know how to invite, present, enroll, and train their new people, you're financially free the rest of your freaking life. I promise you. Okay. So your goal is to one, learn this iPad, learn it yourself by going through it. You can go through it with a mentor, with me, whoever. Once you learn it, it's about teaching your new people how that system works as well. The more people that you can teach how to do that system, the more hands off your business becomes, the more leaders you have, right? You guys see all the 1Ks and above, all the 10Ks that were just in Scottsdale. They learn this system. They're completely independent. They run their businesses, right? So that's obviously everyone's goal, okay? Now, with that being said, guys, I'm just going to say one last thing, okay? There's a lot of stuff that me and Jay could talk about on these calls. There's so much stuff, right? Like we could sit here and teach you guys for probably 10 hours, okay? But that's why we do them every week is to chip away at the information. Matt Morris videos, if you just watch them and Eric Corey's audio, you will hear all the things I'll teach about way faster than me getting on calls and dedicating time like this. That's why we give the tools to people. Okay. But here's one thing I want to say. All right. As you're going out there and you're building this business, okay, this is the last thing I'll talk about. You need to learn how to sort versus sell. Okay. We're sorting people, not selling people. Okay. Now I'm going to break down what this means. All right. There's 4 categories of the population. Okay. There's 4 different types of people that you're going to run into around the world the rest of your life. All right. Me and Jay learned this after our first year, and we're like, God, it makes so much sense. Okay. The first category, 20% of people are negative. Okay. 1 out of every 5 people. All right. And it sucks because you come across them, but you got to do your best to avoid these people. It doesn't matter what you tell them. You could have a business that prints money legally every day for them, and they would still be negative. They go, yeah, but blah, blah, blah. Right. It's you guys all know someone that's negative in your life, a friend. They're always complaining. They're talking about things that aren't going right. Get away from them. You don't have to tell them, I'm going to get away from you. Stop picking up their calls as much. Stop answering as much. Stop hanging out with them as much. When you're out there prospecting people you don't know, you're going to find negative people as well. Okay. Avoid them at all costs. You got to protect your energy, protect what you're trying to do here. Don't let them tear your dreams down because they don't have any. All right. So 20% of people are negative. 67% of people are, I like to call wannabe hustlers. Okay, you guys see my little fingers flopping around right here? Yep, wannabe hustlers. Okay, we all know them. 67% of people. We should start this. We should start this business. We should launch this. We should do e-com. We should do drop shipping. We should start an Amazon business. We should sell sunglasses. Like we should do this. We should start a finance club. Like we should do all this, right? It's the we should. They're wannabe hustlers. Okay. These people aren't as bad as the 20%. But guess what? If you hang around 67 percenters, you're going to become a we should person. You're going to become a wannabe hustler. Okay. You have to hang around the other 2 percentages I'm going to tell you about. Okay. We got to become activators. Okay. Does anybody know what an activator is? Drop it in the chat. What's an activator? Jay, you can't say it. Jay goes, I'm an activator. What's an activator? Someone tell me what an activator is. Okay. Who's an activator? It's okay if you're wrong. Just type it in there. What's an activator? A doer. That's a good answer. A doer, right? An activator is someone that thinks of something and they go and they activate on it and they get it done. Okay. They take action. They think of stuff and they take action. Someone who takes action. Exactly. 67 percenters, they're not activators. They don't take action. They sit there and they run in freaking circles and all of a sudden they're 50, 60, 70 years old, like sitting there, regretting everything. Okay. So that's the second category. We're almost done here, guys. Hang with me. The third category, Kate, I love that. That's one of my top five too. Same with Jay. You guys should all take the personality strength test. It's called Strength Finders. It's $20. It'll tell you your top five strengths. That changed mine and Jay's life. We were like, you're telling me we're good at all five of these? We were like, bet. We're doubling down. So that's awesome, Kate. The third category. Okay, we have 20% negative, 67% wannabe hustlers. 10%, 10% are manager quality type people, managerial type people. Okay. They are good at almost everything they do. They get shit done. They take action. They're activators. They're accomplishing goals. They're making, shit move, right? That's awesome. They're making stuff move. These are manager quality type people. They are getting the job done. These are like the CEOs. These are people that you're hiring, managers. These are top earners in this business. All the 50Ks and above, all 10% for sure, right? So you want to be around these people. You want to be around people that are getting stuff done. They're accomplishing goals, okay? And now here's the last percentage, okay? These people are hard to come across, all right? 3% of the population are good at everything. Everything they touch turns to gold. Everything they do, they're successful at. We all know like one or two people in our life, maybe more than that, where it just seems like everything they do, they win at. It's almost like they're the luckiest person in the world. It's not luck, it's because of who they are, right? So what I mean by sort versus selling, now that you know the categories, teach these to your team, by the way. Everything you learned on this call, but especially that, you're going to go out there and prospect people that you don't even know. Some of them are just going to be rude, negative, mean. In your head, you're like, oh, that's just 20%. All right, got to avoid them. On to the next, right? Then you're going to have someone that's just like, yeah, I want to get started. I'm going to get started on this date. And they're like, oh, something came up. Oh, I'm going to get started on this date. Oh, something came up. I'm going to get started on this date. They're wannabe hustlers. They're just talking, right? They say they want it, but they're not doing it. Okay. Then you'll find 10%. You'll get on a call with them, show them the information, and boom, they get started. Okay. Like out of nowhere, right? Maybe 1, 2, 3 exposures. You're like, wow, this is a 10% type person. They're action taking, they're CEO type quality. And then you'll find the 3%. Dude, and they're hard to find. If you can land a 3%er on your team that's sold out to the vision of what we're doing here, you will make millions of dollars a year, my friend. Millions of dollars a year. These are diamonds. They're hard to find. 3% of the population. Okay. But guess what? If you're like, man, all my friends are bums, like if you're thinking that in your head, how do you surround yourself with 3%ers? First, you got to go kind of get into the 67%ers. Don't stay there long. You're just around people that are wanting to move. And then eventually you find your way into 10%ers. You're like, wow, all these people around me are getting shit done. You're going to start getting that rubbed off on you. You're going to start getting stuff done. And then finally, you'll start getting surrounded by 3%ers every once in a while. And it's going to feel like you're around a freaking celebrity, right? So, guys, lots of more we could talk about on this call. I appreciate everyone who stayed on here. And that's just kind of like the road to 50K. There's a lot of different things that we can go over, but that's the whole purpose of why you want to do personal development for 30 minutes every day. It's like you're chipping away at all this knowledge that you need to learn in order to become great. Okay. So hopefully you guys gained some value. I appreciate everyone who hopped on. And like I was saying, this Super Saturday, guys, tomorrow on Saturday at 11 a.m. Central Time, we're holding a Super Saturday call. On that call, 10Ks and above, speak on it. People making $3,000 or more on that call. Definitely show up to that. Promote it to your teams. Exact same Zoom link here on Monday. Okay, Monday, I believe it's the 24th. We're going to have a team-wide Zoom call presentation. Okay. I'm going to get a flyer put together. We're going to present what it is that we do here. Okay. I'm going to put a flyer together. You can post it on social media. I'm going to make a Zoom registration link. Okay. That you can share with people and they can literally get registered. Okay. And we're going to post about a promotion for that. Okay. We're going to post about a promotion. Whoever can get the most guests on the call. Okay. Guys, we have 8 days left this month. If there was ever a time to lock in and like get all distractions out and put the blinders on and run, it's right now. Okay. So I appreciate and love all you guys. Let me know if you need any help at all. And if you listen to Eric Worre's audio and you never heard it before, reach out and let me know when you're done with it. I'd love to hear what you think. Okay. Have a good night, everyone. Peace out.